folks, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Here's some breaking news. Evidently, just across the Jordan-Syrian border, 3 American troops were killed and 25 injured today, Sunday, in a drone strike in northeastern Jordan. It is what's called the Tower military base, Tower 22. This is from Google Earth. President Joe Biden is blaming the Iran-backed militants for the first U.S. military fatalities after months of strike by the group against American forces across the Middle East amid the Israeli-Hamas war. With an increasing risk of military escalation in the region, the U.S. officials were working to conclusively identify the precise group responsible for the attack. But they have assessed that one of the several Iranian-backed groups was behind it. Biden said the United States will hold all those responsible to account at the time and manner of our choosing. Let me bring this out a little bit. You can see drawn out in yellow, that is the border. The group evidently that is claiming responsibility called themselves the Islamic Resistance of Iraq. The actual attackers were likely Katiba Hezbollah with support of Harakat Hezbollah al-Nujab and Asib al-Alaq. There was one Twitter post, you can see the Area 55, it says TAF Base, Tower 22. Over here is Iraq. Down here is Jordan. I don't know if this map is right or not, because according to Google Earth, this is Syria. Going back to Google Earth, up over here is Ataf, and this is the base. And I want to bring it out some more. So it is in Jordan. Okay, because down over here it has Jordan. Yeah, rather confusing where it's actually at. So it would be, in fact, Jordan. According to another Twitter post, Josh Rogan said, I spoke to Assyrian partner forces about the Islamic resistance of Iraq. That's who's claiming to do it. They told me that the IRGC Qud forces has consolidated various militias under a new moniker to focus efforts and resources on one shared mission targeting Americans. Approximately 3,000 U.S. troops are currently stationed in Jordan, with those deployed at Tower 22, specifically engaged in advise and assist missions. The recent drone attack evidently struck the vicinity of the base's living quarters, and thus 3 Americans were killed, and they say they were sleeping in tents at the time. The reason for the failure of the air defense to intercept the drones remains unclear, but at least 25 others were injured in the attack, some of who have been medically evacuated, so it's got to be serious. That's so sad. They also said that at least 34 personnel underwent evaluations for possible traumatic brain injuries. This incident marks the first occurrence in which U.S. troops were killed by enemy fire since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. This definitely signifies a notable escalation. Jordanian state television quoted Mohammed Moboudin, a government spokesperson, who insisted the attack happened outside of the kingdom across the border in Syria. The conflicting information could not be immediately verified. Now, recently, the Houthi rebels there in Yemen hit a Russian fuel tanker and oil tanker there in the Red Sea. As of yesterday, oil prices only rose about $1 per barrel. Now, evidently, it's gone up about $2. And I think that's because the stock market, all that's rigged. And then 7 hours ago, there was another post how the U.S. struck Houthi targets there again in Yemen after an attack on a British oil tanker. That one evidently didn't do a lot of damage. U.S. forces struck an anti-ship missile in the Houthi-held Yemen area, where they said it was ready to fire on January 27th after the Iranian-backed rebels caused a fire on the British tanker in the Gulf of Aden with similar munitions. The previous evening, the Houthis' military spokesman said missiles fired by the rebels had hit the Marlin Lulanda, an oil tanker operated by the British firm on behalf of the trading giant, and I'm not going to pronounce it. CENTCOM later confirmed the hit, saying the ship issued a distress call and reported damage. The U.S. Carney and other coalition ships have responded and are rendering assistance. The vessel is now sailing towards a safe harbor, and evidently the fire had been extinguished. Then about our borders, recently Governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, has offered to send razor wire to Greg Abbott. She posted that Texas has state sovereignty to defend themselves against invasion. The 13 original colonies would not have ratified the Constitution if they didn't have the power to defend themselves. The Republic of Texas wouldn't have even joined the Union if they didn't believe they could defend themselves. Evidently, at least 25 state governors are now backing Greg Abbott and his efforts to secure our border. Kristi Noem also posted, "We see the effects of Joe Biden's failure at the border every day in South Dakota. The drugs and the human trafficking pouring over the border devastate my people, especially on our tribal reservations. I'm proud to stand with Greg Abbott in his fight to secure our nation." We got these terrorists right here in South Dakota. My daughter has noticed at least 2 young men who've been coming in with gold chains with gold AK-47s, and at least 1 young man in his early 20s with Islamic writing on his neck. And our town only has a population of 22,000 people. So securing our borders, yeah, it's a priority. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what the agenda is. I don't know if it's just to divide this country even more. Here's a post that says 7,000 trucks heading for the Texas border on Monday for a peaceful protest. Add Canada or Canadian truckers to the list. Wow, this is insane. And then there's another post about a convoy claiming to be God's army heading to Texas to protest border crisis. And then there's another Twitter post showing Fox News. Take back our border. Truck rally will begin on January 29th and run until February 3rd, with stops in Eagle Pass, Texas, Yuma, Arizona, and San Isidro, California. So I don't know. We're just going to have to watch and see. But I do know that the cartels are here. They're in all 50 states. We really do need to secure our border. And there are laws on the books. It's in our Constitution. We are a republic. We are not a democratic country. People get that confused. We are a republic. According to a post by Governor Abbott, it says here, the failure of the Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, Section 4 has triggered Article 10, Clause 3, which reserves to this state the right of self-defense. For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, to invoke Texas constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. The Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well as state law to secure the Texas border. So South Dakota also has National Guard there. I am not familiar. I'm not sure what their duty is there, and I've talked about that before. So anyways, things are heating up around the world, are they not? And just here in this country. This man here, if it's true, being a known terrorist from Azerbaijan, he came a long way to cross the border there, and he was seen in Arizona. And he made some very chilling threats. It's like, if you're too stupid to know who I am, you soon will know who I am. Need to stock up, need to prepare. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless y'all. Bye.